We are about 3 years into having AI chatbots, also known as large language models, enter into the world. And the growth has been exponential. The progress has been insane. We've had people thinking that AGI is coming and the world is going to change. Regardless of where you stand on the effectiveness of AI today, in this video, I'm going to show you something that will be incredibly useful, regardless if you're a business owner, if you have an important job, or if you just want to make your daily life a little bit easier. And what I'm talking about is a new tool called Claude Skills. Now, it's been pretty fascinating to watch the different companies split out and go different directions with their models. You have ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, Gemini, and so on and so on. And they've all taken a slightly different approach. But Claude in particular, by Anthropic, has introduced some very interesting features that have made it's slowly crept into my most used model, actually, in the last 6 months. Now, the skills feature is particularly useful, and that's what we're going to break down in this video. But first, before we get into that, I just want to discuss a couple things about Claude. So you have both skills, you have projects, and you have MCPs. So just quickly touching on the project section. Well, basically a project is when you have a certain set of deliverables that you need and you don't want to reprompt it every time you go into the project. And so what you'll typically do in a project, you might already be familiar, but if not, bear with me, is you upload a file with like kind of examples of, so in this project, basically, I go in here anytime I want to generate a script for my Instagram Reels that I make for AI content. And there's two sides of this. So you have to set up custom instructions. And my custom instructions basically say you're a viral script writer for my company specializing in mental health and tech addiction topics. I have a mobile app that helps people with tech addiction called Mindless. If you're an Apple user, check it out. But basically, this is the custom instructions. So I don't have to retype this in every single time I go into Claude. In addition to that, I have examples of videos that have done well that I think we can model our scripts after. So if I want to do this, I can simply go into projects and open it up. That's cool. But what about let's go to the settings here. How about MCPs? What are MCPs? So MCPs are essentially APIs for AI tools. And, an API is basically allowing one tool that's not built by another company to plug into that tool. So, for example, my mobile app, we use AI inside of our app to help people quit scrolling. And we use an MCP to plug into Gemini so that we can have a chatbot go back and forth. And so basically, it's just allowing access to that AI tool by an external tool. So Claude kind of pioneered MCPs, and this is really interesting. However, what I really want to talk about is Claude projects. So let me close this side panel. Let me get myself out of the way. And with Claude projects, this is very interesting. So first off, you go to capabilities, and I would recommend turning on all of these. These are basically experimental features that Claude is working with. I would recommend turning them all on. You can add memory turned on, but then we have skills. Now there's different types of skills. So there are skills created by Anthropic themselves, and these are the ones that you're seeing. So I want to test one of these out. Let's try the brand guidelines skill. That might be an interesting one to test. So if I go into a new Claude chat and I say, please take this report and create a presentation using the brand guidelines skill. Final output. Actually, I don't even need to put that because the brand guideline skill is already defined. So I'm going to show you how this works. Then I'm going to actually explain how to do this. So I want to make a presentation about the announcement of Kimi K2 with open agentic intelligence. This is basically just showing how it compares to all of its peers, use cases, things like this. Now, this is an open source model from China. This is not a promotion of this model. I haven't really used it, but I want to use this as an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this URL. I'm going to go back into Claude, and I'm going to let this thing rip. And so please take this report, create a presentation using the brand guideline skill. So what it's going to do is it's going to think about the actual thing that we need to do, but then it's going to read the brand guideline skill to understand Anthropic's brand colors and typography. Remember, this is a skill that was created by Anthropic. And so therefore, we're going to use their tool, their skill that they created to build this presentation. So I'm going to let this run for a minute, and then we're going to come back to it and we're going to see what the output looks like. Okay, so our presentation is complete. I went ahead and downloaded it and added it to Google Drive. Let's see how Claude did in putting together this presentation by simply using the Claude skills. So slide 1. I know this is a little bit out of view for you. Let me just bring myself out of here. So slide 1, we have, pretty solid. Slide 2, looking good. Core capabilities. Remember, this is all about Kimi K2 thinking. You can't really see the whole thing, but it's really breaking it down here. So this is pretty crazy because all I did was feed it the news article, and I just said basically create a presentation using the Claude branding guidelines. So I think it's safe to say that it's absolutely nailed this. Probably don't even need to keep going through it, but yeah, basically this is an example of how skills can work in the real world. It's just simple as prompting the skill. Now, what about custom skills? I think that's really, really important to cover. So in order to show you guys what a unique Claude skill looks like, what I wanted to do was do something pretty random. So I created this skill called the Nada Yoga Vibration. Deploy sound as consciousness technology and vibrational reality programming. Used when vibration and frequency matters, sound healing needed, or demonstrating conscious oscillation. So this is a very random skill, but the point is to show you how diverse some of these skills can actually be. All right, so we're back in Claude. I can say, I am feeling scattered and unable to focus. Use the skill to help me. All right, and let's run this and let's see what the output's going to look like. It's going to think first about what we did, and then it's going to access the actual skill to start building it out. Let's give this just a moment and let it run. All right, we've got the results coming in. So feel that continuous hum underneath everything that you're experiencing right now. Your scattered state equals multiple frequencies of fighting. You're not unfocused, you're over frequent. And so this whole skill is basically about diagnosing the frequency that the person's giving off and then helping them figure out how to get back into alignment with the right frequency. Once again, realize this is a little bit out there, but I just thought it was an interesting use case. So it's giving me curated things to do based on my input. And yeah, it's giving me a couple steps. And yeah, it's actually just at a quick scroll. This actually looks like it'd be really helpful. For instance, this kind of breathing and sounding, this ooh, this is actually very calming to the vagus nerve, which controls our nervous system. So great. We have a really cool skill added. So really, I think one of the main points is skills are as useful as your imagination is. It can help you with creating content. It can help you with frequency diagnosis. It can help you with fill in the blank, right? So what do you do when you have a skill you want to create? Well, the first thing I would recommend is going and seeing if this Claude skill already exists in the marketplace. So this is a really cool marketplace, the Claude Skills marketplace. And I mean, basically, it's got everything you could want. So depending on the skill, you can go browse the categories. It's got thousands, actually, that you can go in there and try out. So this is one place to start. You could always try here just to see, hey, does this skill already exist? Is this something that I need to create myself? Now, the next thing you could always do, of course, is using AI for prompting. So, you could go into Claude or even ChatGPT or Grok and say, hey, I'm creating a Claude skill. Here's what I want the skill to do. Here's what the output should look like. Can you create the files that I need to upload to a Claude skill? Because it has to be in a .zip file, and inside that .zip file, there has to be, I believe it's .skills or maybe it's .md, I can't remember exactly. But this is a very important step, and without this, you will not be able to actually create the Claude skills. So I want to show you guys how to actually create skills in Claude. It's honestly pretty easy, and it starts with just the idea. What is something that you want Claude to help you with? Really something that you do more than once a week is relevant to create a skill for. So what I did is I just put this simple prompt in here that says, create a skill called YouTube hooks that generates attention-grabbing opening hooks for YouTube videos. The skill should take a video and topic title as input, generate 5 different hook styles. Each hook should be 1 to 2 sentences max, Include a brief explanation of why each hook works psychologically. Format output in a clean, scannable way. Make it practical and based on proven viral video formulas. The skill should help creators quickly test different opening angles for their videos. So what you'll see here is that at first, it tried to find the skill, but it didn't exist. And then it tried to find the skill again. It didn't exist. So then it found perfect. The skill creator is in the examples folder. Let me read it now. So then it learned how to create a skill from there. And so essentially what it went ahead and did was it created the skill. So I've created your YouTube hook skill. Here's what it includes. You can click to view the skill, or what it does. The skill generates 5 psychologically optimized opening hooks for any YouTube video, blah, 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 blah. So it basically just tells you how to use it. You just have to name it, add it to skills, and then it's ready to go. All right, so what I'm going to do is simply download the skill. Just make sure you guys can see it. So this pops up where it says download. I will click download. And then I want to go to my settings inside of Claude. Click capabilities. Click upload skill. And all I have to do is just drag in the skill that was already created by Claude. Boom, YouTube hooks is in there. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go to a new chat. I am creating a video about Claude Skills that shows how to use it, best practices, etc. Please use the YouTube hook skill to help me generate the titles and hooks, etc. All right, so what you'll see here is it will think for a minute. So it's going to think for a minute, basically do its reasoning, and then it's going to search the actual skill to understand more about how to actually create it. So let's let this run for a second. Let's see what it comes back with. All right, and it's giving us some output. You can see, so hook number 1, stop using Claude the hard way. Skills just change everything about AI assistants and nobody's talking about it. It's honestly pretty good. Hook number 2, curiosity gap. There's a hidden feature in Claude that lets it read Excel files. I mean, this is really good. I should have used this for this video, to be honest with you. But yeah, basically it's executing on the skill. It's recommending which hook to use. And there you have it. That's how easy it is to actually create a Claude skill. It's simple as can be. And there's a lot of videos I watched that were super confusing, but you can literally have Claude tell it what you want the skill to do, and it can create the skill for you. And so there you have it. That is how you create Claude skills. It's easy, it's straightforward, it shouldn't take you a lot of time. Anything that you do repetitively, I recommend uploading into Claude Skills. Also, if you want to learn about how to use AI in a way that's not intimidating, not overwhelming, just subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to break it down in a way that you don't need to be an engineer to understand it. And if you run a business, feel free to book a call. Otherwise, just subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for trusting me with your time.